All right. Hi, my name is Travis Lindsay. I'm here for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State Fullerton. And with me today, I'm lucky to have Dr. Kenneth Lamb. He's the director for the Student Innovation Idea Lab at Cal Poly Pomona. We were just talking a little bit about that before we got started. And he's also a professor. Ken, can you give us a little bit of a background for yourself?
Thanks, Travis, and thanks for having me here. My background actually started in civil engineering as a designer for water systems and doing systems engineering. And currently, I'm still a professor in civil engineering, Cal Poly Pomona. But yeah, as you mentioned, oversee the Student Innovation Idea Labs here at Cal Poly Pomona, which is our campus maker spaces as well as our campus startup programming. It's kind of what we try to do, is promote entrepreneurship. And then as we're promoting entrepreneurship, giving students access to tools and equipment and space to make the cool things that they feel like they can launch.
So that's cool. I mean, so you come at it from a different perspective than I do. So my background, finance, economics, business, entrepreneurship, pretty much the whole way through. So do you see, or maybe I guess the better way to ask it is like, what kind of differences do you see about the people who come at it from an engineering first perspective versus like a business first perspective?
Well, the engineering first perspective usually relies too much on finding solutions before you even have a customer. So engineers are very proud of the fact that they can build and design things, but I'm constantly telling my students and the people around here is like, well, who's your customer? So the idea of having empathy for a customer who might want to buy the thing isn't as relevant as the ability to make the thing. So this is the constant challenge from the engineering perspective is like, yay, you can make it, but would anybody want that?
Right. Yeah. It's this very cool solution, but if nobody wants to buy it, so what, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just a really cool solution that's in search of a problem, right? So, I mean,
right.
that's kind of one of the things that I tell a lot of people who are thinking about entrepreneurship. And if their motivation is, oh, they want to be their own boss, not really the case. Basically, you're trading in your one boss for all of your customers as your boss, right?
That's right. That's right. That's a
Yeah.
good perspective.
Yeah. Okay. So over at Cal Poly Pomona, I'm familiar with it from afar. I went to high school in the area, and a lot of my friends went to Cal Poly Pomona. It was, engineering first, that sort of thing. So, what do you see as like the state of entrepreneurship at Poly Pomona, and then in the broader SoCal area?
Well, in general at Cal Poly, there's a lot of people actually who are starting businesses and certainly side hustles, or where they categorize them, because their primary focus is being students, and they want to do a variety of different activities and make some cash on the side. And so that's the primary person that I see a lot of at Cal Poly, who's like, okay, now I want to start making some money off this. How do I make some money off this? I'm already doing this thing, and I feel like I can make some money off this, and it's not all about money. It's too about them being able to get their product into the hands of people, and they really feel satisfied in doing that. They get excited about it. But that is a very common theme for a lot of our startups and people that we support are people who are just trying to find this other side hustle. They've already been doing something, and then they're working on this other product or service on the side. In general, too, we do have a decent number of people who want to start their own businesses, and then that becomes their thing right out of college, or even during college, and they begin the business that they've already got going. Much more rare that is that person who has a thing that they want to launch completely from new right away. We do get a lot of our alumni coming back and talking about how the experience that they had through our programming gave them a little bit more confidence to launch their own thing after they'd been in the industry for 5 or 6 years. So we feel that is also a win for us, is if we get some more people feeling like they can be confident in doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of want to blend that in now with our event that's coming up March 9th, 2024, called SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship. And I think that the way that you describe students and people in general is that entrepreneurs, they are a bit they're a bit different, right? Professionally from the average person. They are motivated to create things. So they're kind of blending that creative nature with business and with, whatever other aspect may come into it. In your situation, it sounds like it's a lot more probably going to be like engineering. And so for our event, SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship, why do you see this as an important event for people to attend, whether they're actively being an entrepreneur, thinking about becoming one, or can see themselves at some point down the road doing it?
Well, I think that the value I see in it is that it helps our students and our partners see what an opportunity it is to start your own business. I think the majority of our students see their pathway, their career path leading towards a nice stable job, a good paycheck and benefits coming right out of college. I don't know if anybody's ever explained to them the benefits of entrepreneurship and what it means to then take and build something new, or take something that's existing and renovate it and improve it and turn it into something that's bigger and better than it used to be. So for us, entrepreneurship is both those things. It's not just new ventures, but I think this SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurs is all about showing our students and our partners that this is a viable alternative to simply going and getting a job, and that they can find a pathway in their careers towards this objective of having a sustainable career that in a thing that they didn't ever imagine before. Now they're doing it. They're building it themselves.
Yeah, it's sort of like a variation on that Robert Frost poem, the road less traveled, and maybe entrepreneurship is like the road that's unseen for a lot of people. It's like they don't even realize that it's there. So, okay, so SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship. We're going to have a lot of speakers there, panel discussions. We're going to have a pitch competition. So just give me like your 90-second pitch for why somebody should attend. And I know that there's kind of a bit of an overlap from your previous answer on that, but indulge me, please.
Well, I think somebody will want to go to this event because they've been sitting on the edge of what they want to do. They have an idea. They've been thinking about it for a while, and they're thinking, but I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to start. And I think that that's what SoCal Celebrate Entrepreneurs could provide to them with the speakers and the panels that are there. They could show up and get that last little bit of information they need to really launch their idea and go out and do something spectacular. And I think they'll also realize that by going to this meeting, there's lots of other people like them interested in starting their own business. Maybe not exactly the same thing, of course, hopefully not the exact same thing. And they can go and build that network with people that can then support them in their journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's looking at it in that light, it just opens up new opportunities for people, right? So it's you meet somebody, you learn something new. Maybe you're able to find somebody that you could partner with down the road for what you want to do. And maybe it's not that you want to, or that you're intending to go to the event and then start something later that same day. Maybe it's that the seed gets planted in your mind and you start something 10, 15 years down the road, once you actually see that real problem and you know what the right solution is for it, and you can actually go and start the business at that point, right?
Yeah.
So that's great. So I think we're going to wrap this up pretty soon, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. So besides going to the SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship event, what other advice do you have for students or maybe anyone else that is thinking about becoming an entrepreneur?
Well, I sometimes get pushback on the idea that entrepreneurship is only about making money. And I think for today's generation of students and this age group that we've got coming up, the idea behind entrepreneurship needs to have more meaning behind it. And I think that that's also important to realize, that entrepreneurship isn't really just about making money. It's about helping people get what they need. And in terms of helping people get what they need, you have to learn to understand the people around you really well in order to provide them what it is that they need. And of course, they'll pay you for that service because you're providing and adding value to their lives. So I think reframing entrepreneurship as this, let's launch something to make you money, into a different framing, which is let's figure out how to help the next person get what they need, whatever that is. And you might be the person that, that student, you might be the only person who can launch this and make this solution happen. So out there, there's people that need your help and need the entrepreneur's help to get what they need and make their lives better, but they're not going to happen until somebody does that for them.
Gotcha. So it's more about providing value to other people than it is from getting dollars and cents from people.
Yeah, the money comes if you're providing value to people. It comes,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And there's a whole burgeoning, understanding of what entrepreneurship is. I mean, along the lines of what you were just talking about, and creating businesses to have more of like a social mission to kind of built into it as part of like the foundation of what the business is actually all about. So I 100% agree. And that's some of the things that we're going to be talking about at the SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship event on March 9th. And so there'll be a link in the description for anybody who's interested in that. Ken, anything else that you would like to share with us?
I think that's it. I'm excited for the event. I always get a kick out of being there with everybody and meeting with all the different guest speakers. I think you'd feel really sad if you missed out, honestly, because there's a lot of good people there. It's fun people.
All right, so you hear it from Ken. Don't miss out. We'll see you all at the SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship event, March 9th of next year. And Ken, thank you very much. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Travis, for having me.